been to Los Angeles 3 times in the last 18 months. And, I love Hollywood. I love West Hollywood. I've walked a majority of the streets. I walked from West Hollywood on Sunset, because I like to walk from North Fuller along Hollywood Boulevard to Laurel Canyon, but if you walk down the Sunset, I like to walk from West Hollywood to Beverly Hills. That's a good walk. And then actually you can get the number 2 bus from Sunset Boulevard, I light at Hillgard and walk up into Belle d'Ora along Bellagio and along St. Pierre. Not many people walk in Beverly Hills, not many people walk in West Hollywood, not a lot of people walking around. Everyone drives. However, I greatly enjoyed walking. And when I was there in '98, there was no Google Maps. So I had a big map, and you had the Traveller's Guides. It was a book, Tourist Traveller's Guides, which had limited information. So upon getting to Los Angeles, I knew almost nothing about it, the streets or anything, and was carrying around a paper map. And Lonely Planet, that's, I think I still have them, but they're in my old room at my parents' house in my cupboard. Mid-99, I discovered the internet. But I don't know when I discovered Google Maps. I may have discovered Google Maps somewhere around 2000 or 2001, and that was, when I discovered Google Maps, that was incredible, because I looked at my photos. So when I got back home to Sydney, Australia, I didn't got my photos processed. I didn't look at them for like, I don't know, a year, and then I looked back at them and I was like, oh, my trip to Hollywood, my trip to LA. And when I discovered Google Maps, I retraced all my steps, and then throughout the years just became obsessed with the map. Got back. Why didn't I get back there 10 times over the years? Sad story. It has to do with me not being able to save properly. I was really bad with my finances. Got back there last year. Hollywood hasn't changed that much. There's a few things that, HMV's not there, Tower Records is not there anymore, the Marlboro Man on the Sunset's not there anymore. Those things have changed. Overall, Hollywood hasn't changed that much, although COVID knocked out a few of the stores along Hollywood Boulevard. There were some classic stores there, and COVID did knock those out. They did shut down because of those. However, Hollywood remains large, and a lot of it remains largely the same, and it's like elegant and pretty and dirty and survival and yet sparkly. Very 70s, 80s in certain regard. Our cultures are completely different. The culture of Hollywood is totally different to Sydney, completely different. Nothing in common. That's not a bad thing, that's a good thing. It's a good thing. It's fascinating over there. And the way people dress, the way people speak, the way people do things, the products in the stores, all entirely different. Nothing is the same. You couldn't compare the two. Oh, it's great over there. I love it. And like talking to the street people. Loved talking to the street people over there. That was really enjoyed talking to the people on the street over there. Talk to the locals, and I'd say good afternoon. I'd say, oh, where are you from? And I'd say Sydney, Australia. Like, oh wow, Sydney, Australia. They love it. And because many of the locals of Hollywood have not been out of California. They haven't been out of Los Angeles. And 1998, there was no one on their mobiles. No one on their mobiles. And I love the Metro buses in Hollywood. Get on the number 2 bus and you get down to Beverly Hills, and you can change at Hillgard and go to the Getty Museum. You get the 761 bus from Hillgard that takes you up to the Getty Museum. And or if you don't like Hillgard, you can go through to Westwood. But you can go through to Hollywood and Western also, downtown red Metro B line from Hollywood and Vine or Hollywood and Highland. I like going down to Hollywood and Vine, and get the subway down to Pershing Square. I like Pershing Square, and Skid Row is about a 5-minute walk. Skid Row is a very sad place, very eye-opening, very sad. Need to have your wits about you. I walked around Skid Row for a bit. It smells like death. It smells like one step away from death. I walked down, I think it was along Broadway Street to Chinatown, and then I came back from Chinatown. I walked to Chinatown and then came back. I needed to get a couple of things. Walk along like either 5th or 4th Street past Los Angeles Avenue and Maple, and you're in Skid Row. And Skid Row is from roughly approximately 6th, 5th, 4th, 3rd, 2nd. It might even start at 7th. It covers it covers a certain area. I walked a few streets of Skid Row, and it was extraordinary and sad. And at one point I stopped and thought, I don't feel safe. So I turned back. Society of Los Angeles, it's just so interesting. And it's got Los Angeles has a very particular feel to it, very particular. Like there's certain parts of like Hollywood, West Hollywood. West Hollywood is very conservative, elegant. Los Angeles has an elegant feel about it, but also survival, pretty, but yet survival. It's very difficult to describe how a place feels. Los Angeles, when you fly into it, it has a very particular feel to it, unlike any other place. The descriptions that I have given actually, my partner, she said to me, because I had described to her what Hollywood was like before we got there, she's like, you were spot on with your description, totally spot on. So I feel like my description is okay, but if you've actually been there, then you know what I mean. There's a very particular smell and very particular feel to it. Now, society with the alphas and the betas, and how everyone is on their mobile phones, everyone is craving information, everyone does something different with that information. It alters your point of view. People are seeking out truths, people are seeking out information, they want to know things, I want to know things. And then it depends on where you get your information from, what you're hearing, the headlines, YouTube titles of videos on YouTube, titles of videos on YouTube, how you interpret that, what it means to you, how it affects your world, how it affects you personally, how you let it affect you personally, how you allow it to affect you personally, how you allow it to affect you. And we are in a collapse of society, but and the thing is, back to the you see, we are loose. We're a loose farm. We are in a reincarnation cycle run by the archons. We are in a matrix simulation run by the Archons. So when you die, no one ever dies, but when you die and you transist to the other dimension, which is really just a frequency, you will see the light. You'll see the light. You'll be greeted what appears to be relatives, very dear friends, relatives who will greet you, and you, who may not be your relatives or loved ones, they just may be archons in disguise. You can't question them. You don't have to go with them. You can question them, and it'd be best to question them. But generally what happens is that when I go shopping, I observe everyone. I observe everyone. I observe everyone. Right? 99% of people, 99%, everyone that I look at when I go to the local shopping mall, everyone, I'm like, oh, you would go to the light. You would go to the light. And whenever I see a baby, I'm like, oh, you've got co-hosts and they're coming back here. You went into the soul trap. You had your life review. What happens is, you cross to the other side. You go into the light. You get greeted by your relatives. You then go for a life review. They then say, and if you're not prepared for this, I've been working on my life review for a while. I've been working on it for 5 years now. It's quite challenging at times. They will say, you didn't do so good in this area, and this particular person, that particular person, you're affected in this way. You didn't do so good in this area. You didn't do so well here. You didn't do so well there. You need to go back. You need to go back. The thing is, we don't have to come back here. We never have to. I'm never coming back here. Never coming back. And yeah, one of the main reason people breed and reproduce is that's number one reason. Preserve the family bloodline. Even if you're an asshole, preserve the family bloodline. And reincarnation soul trap. Howdy Makovsky, Jeff Mara. Gnostic Eye. Okay. Forever Consciousness Research Channel. I don't know how many times I've been here. In fact, I don't even know how many times I've lived this same life over and over again. I feel like I've learnt the most in this lifetime. I've learnt the most in this lifetime. This is definitely not my first time here. And after the lifetime, I didn't want to come back. I was really reluctant to come back to this one. This is my favourite lifetime. This is my favourite lifetime for particular reasons. I've learned a lot, I've been through a lot, and I figured out the universe. I already had it mostly figured out in my 20s, actually, because in my 20s I was like, are we living in some kind of simulation? I didn't know the word matrix yet. I was like, is this some kind of simulation or game? Is this